Weiman Hao, and welcome to our lesson for Year 8. It's not 7 o'clock, but it is lesson 6, and we're looking at o'clock times today. So the very first thing I would like us to do is to revise our numbers. So let me prepare something. Now, not in any particular order, I'm going to put some numbers down. See how you go for remembering them. We have San, Shi, Jiu, Qi, Liu, Wo, Si, Yi. Okay, that's all that can fit in the screen at the moment, so let's take a look at those. See which ones you remember. So, Yi is 1. Yi. Now you'll notice I haven't put the numerals on here. I've done that on purpose because I want you people to remember them. So we have Yi, 1, 2, San, 3, 4, Si, 5, Wu, 6, Liu, 7, Qi. Oh, I don't have 8 here. Don't worry, we will come back to that. 9, Jiu, and 10, Shi. Ooh, upside down. Okay, now onto some other numbers. Ba, here's the one we missed. And because we're doing a clock, we'll need, or clock times, we need Shi Yi, Shi and this funny one, which you have seen before, this is Liang, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So Ba is 8. Shi Yi, 10 and 1, which makes 11. Shi Yi, 10 and 2 more, is 12. So it's Shi. Now, this one is Liang. Now, Liang is best translated as a couple of and is used when counting objects. So while, let me find a character for 2, while is used when counting, when we're starting to talk about objects or number of things, we use the word Liang instead. And this is also included in telling the time. Now, onto our new words. We've got these two characters here, and this one, and I've written the pinyin on some of them. So we have Ji, which is how many. Ji is a question word and is used for when you're asking how many hours it is. So it definitely is for asking the time, and also when you're asking for how many of something or other there are. This is Dian. Dian has a multiple amount of uses. It can mean full stop, it can mean dot, but in this case it also refers to hour or o'clock as well. Xianzai is made up with this particle here called, this character here called zai, which means in or on or at, but when you combine it with this one, xianzai, it means right now or now. Our last new character is this one, le. And on the back, I actually haven't written a translation at all. And this is because le is one of those words that are a bit strange to us in English because it's very hard to translate. It can actually mean quite a few different things. So it could mean that something has already happened. It's like putting an ed on the end of a verb. So to indicate that something has just happened, it can mean that something has changed. It might mean that you're giving some advice or you're giving an order or something like that. So you'll find out how we use le in a moment in the course of telling the time. But firstly, let's learn how to tell the time. So we'll just put le aside for the moment. We need xinzai, ji, dian. So xianzai, ji, dian, which is right now, how many hours? We would say, what's the time? Or right now, what's the time? Now, I need to stress that this is a question, and what makes it a question is this word here, ji, I know a lot of you are so used to knowing that this word, which I'll just write for you right now, which is ma. Whoops, sorry. Ma is a question word, and it is. We add ma. Ma is like adding a question mark on the end of a statement. What ma does, it turns a statement into a question. So a lot of people, I find, are so used to having ma as substituting it for a question mark, knowing that Chinese don't use question marks in traditional Chinese, that when they come across other words, other sentences that are obviously questions, they think, where's the ma? The answer is, there is none. This is because the function of ma is just to turn a statement into a question. In this case, there is a question word already here, which is ji. Okay. Now, if we were going to turn this into a statement to say what time it is, all we need to do is replace ji for a number. So now we have 现在8点, which is right now it is 8 o'clock. Let's take a look at a couple more times. So we have 现在12点, which is right now it's 12 o'clock. Now if I put this one here, 现在2点, right now 2 o'clock. So really you're saying a couple of hours. 2 o'clock. Now let's add the character le into it. If you're talking about a particular time, let me just change this for a moment. Go 1点. So it is right now 1 o'clock. When you're talking about a particular time, you can add le onto the end of what you're saying. Oh, we don't have enough space. I'll just put it down here with 点. So 现在1点了. You can add le on the end of telling what time it is, or you can not add it. It doesn't seem to have any particular rules about whether you do or you don't. Le is just another way of saying right now it's 1 o'clock. What I am told that in mainland China, they often like to add le at the end of some of their sentences. So it's more of a mainland Chinese thing. So if you're talking to someone from China, you might hear le a lot for a lot of these sentences. So just be aware of that. In the same way, just asking what the time is. I'm sorry, I'll just got rid of that 现在. We do say 现在几点 for right now, how much time or what's the time. In the same way, often people in China will just say 几点了, what's the time. So replacing 现在with just le at the end. It's just like a slang. It's like how in Australia we'll say g'day instead of hello. It's just a particular way that people from mainland China will talk, as opposed to other Chinese people from different parts of the world, such as Malaysia or Singapore or Taiwan. Okay, before we finish up, I've got a little task for you to do right now. So we have 现在几点, what time is it? I've got 4 different o'clock times, and we're going to work out what we need to say. So 现在几点, what time is it? Let's get rid of 几. We have 7 o'clock. Can you guess what we need? That's right, if you guessed this character, you were right. 现在7点. So right now it's 7 o'clock. Let's change the time. What if we had this one? What do we need? Get rid of 七. Did you guess this one? Here we are. 现在11点. 11 o'clock. So right now it's 11 o'clock. Change the time. Second last one. 现在, it's not 11 anymore. That's the one. 现在5点. You got that one right? Okay. Last one. Let's get rid of 5 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Do you remember what we need? Do we need that character that looks like this one? No, we need this one. 现在2点. So right now it's 2 o'clock. 很好，大家很好. Okay, well done everybody. That's all we have time for. So attached next to this video, of course, is a quiz. I'm changing the types of questions, so you'll find a true or false question, and there's also going to be a question that will look like a grid. Now for that, you'll have a series of characters or questions down one side and the answers up the top. You need to match up one for the other. So for example, war, which is I, goes there. These won't be the questions, by the way. They're going to be different. They'll be based on this video. Then we've got ni, which is over here. Got min, which is there. Got yeah, which means also goes there. So you tick the right box that corresponds to both the right column and the right row, and you'll find that there's only one tick in each column, one tick in each row. Okay, good luck with that. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week. 再见.